Today we're just going to take a trip through the music that has been more influential to me. I was only 2 in 1980. However, my earliest musical memories come from the 1940s Walt Disney movie Fantasia, which was my favorite childhood film. I remember especially a swing jam session that the orchestra does during the intermission, and how fascinated I was with the upright bass, which starts the whole piece. It's pretty cool. Check it out on YouTube if you haven't seen it. It was in the early 1990s when I started to get into hard rock and metal. I got into the Guns N' Roses craze, and then into Metallica, and subsequently Megadeth and Sepultura. I actually tattooed their logo when I was 14. Yeah, it's upside down. Talk about regrettable choices. Anyway, so I got my first bass in 1994. But it wasn't until I listened to Iron Maiden with the X Factor, one of the most obscure albums since it doesn't have Bruce Dickinson on it, that I became more aware of the power of the bass and my technique. During this period, I also discovered Rush, Dream Theater, and got into virtuoso guitarists like Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, Yngwie Malmsteen, Greg Ho, and especially Cacophony with Marty Friedman and Jason Becker. This music is absolutely phenomenal. I also heard about Gary Willis and Tribal Tech in high school, and I got Face First, which was one of my favorite albums in my collection. I also got Invitation, my first Jacko album, which also blew my mind.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I started music school in 2000. I started to play a little classical piano, which was an extremely useful tool to understanding harmony. I started listening to jazz more consciously and classical composers like Schumann, Schubert, Bach, or Stravinsky. I never learned to play jazz though, since I left school to take the opportunity to move to Canada, where I landed in Brantford, Ontario. While I was getting my work permit, I frequented the Brantford Library and checked out documentaries and films, the most transcendental being Ken Burns' Jazz. There are mixed opinions about this film, since it leaves a lot of contemporary talents and just focuses on jazz since the beginning up to the 1960s. But it introduced me to artists I'd never heard about before like Sidney Bechet, Art Tatum, Art Blakey, Benny Goodman, John Coltrane, and more.
Now this is the part where I'm supposed to choose a favorite song. And with level 6, it's a little bit difficult because all the songs are great. The new ones for me were Reeling In, Screwdriver, and Machine Gun. But if I had to choose a favorite one right here on the spot, I guess it would be Quartz. Now, I hadn't played that song in a while, so I really had to take my time to remember the walking bass line. And things I could have done better, maybe work a little bit more on the licks in Machine Gun, and also add some of my own licks on the song Screwdriver. On that song, I just played the line as it is written. I still had a lot of fun playing it though. Thank you, and I guess I'll see you in level 7.